winter range is habitat deer and elk migrate to in order to find more favorable living conditions. Winter ranges usually have minimal amounts of snow cover, vegetation animals can eat, places to hide from predators, and take shelter from the worst weather.
So the cooperative winter range closure is an effort to reduce disturbance to wintering deer in the area, and we do that by closing roads to motorized use. Some of the roads in the area are still open, a lot of the main corridors, and a lot of the secondary roads get closed just to kind of carve out space for deer to find refuge away from human disturbance.
So this is one of the gates that'll close during the range closure.
There are 4 winter wildlife closure areas in Central Oregon that cover tens of thousands of acres. They include the Cabin Lake Silver Lake area southeast of LaPine, the Metolius Winter Range near Camp Sherman, the Opine Travel Management Area near Pine Mountain east of Bend, and the Tumalo Winter Range, which extends through the east slopes of the Cascades from Bend toward Sisters. In these winter ranges, motorized vehicles, including snowmobiles and electric bicycles, are prohibited December 1st through March 31st.
So a lot of these areas still are open to non-motorized recreation, so the trails are still open for hiking and for biking and for dog walking. You know, we do ask people to stay on the system trails as much as possible. It's a lot easier for wildlife if disturbance is predictable, and so it's great if people can stay on system trails, also keeping dogs under control or on leash, and giving animals lots of space. When you see an animal, don't approach it, give it space and let it do its thing.
Winter is a difficult time for deer. They survive on reserves of fat they've built up over the summer grazing in high mountain pastures. They steadily lose that weight over winter. If they're repeatedly disturbed and forced to move to stay safe, the results can include fewer fawns born in the spring or outright death of adults due to stress.
Like, disturbance is hard for people to understand sometimes because you don't often see the results of it. You know, we're standing here now, we might not know that there's deer hiding in the trees around the corner, like hesitant to come out because we're standing here. And sometimes the results are indirect too, where it's like our actions right now might impact how an animal might use this habitat later on.
Watching wildlife is Mike Chambliss's retirement hobby. He sees a lot of deer this time of year as they move onto their winter ranges.
How do you watch deer without disturbing them?
Many of the ones that I see are what I call, for lack of a better word, urban deer. They're used to landowners, working the fields or walking around, and they're kind of used to people. They're used to seeing cars go by all the time. And if I stop, they tend to just sometimes pose for me even. But if I get out, that's not the norm.
Deer expend energy in any interaction with humans. Simply stopping feeding to wonder what you're doing causes deer to use energy reserves they might need to get them through the harshness of winter. Studies have found that off-road vehicles and mountain bikes elicit a stronger flight response in deer than hiking or horseback riding. Thus, motorized vehicle restrictions on winter ranges.
It's really a pretty simple concept. It's less disturbance is better body condition. Better body condition is better survival. Better survival is better populations of mule deer in Central Oregon.
Animals respond better to disturbances that are predictable, so please respect winter closures on trails and roads. Tell your friends and family to reduce impact on deer when they're on their winter range. I'm Brooks Snavely for The Great Outdoors.